I have a small handful of random things that I want to share in this video, starting with this pattern I've been working on. This is a free pattern and I've been using it to scrap bust. It is by Emily Dennis. Her quilt pattern company is called Quilty Love, and I love her patterns. So I've done Star Pop, I'm doing this one. She writes really clearly and easily, great instructions. This one I got for free for signing up for her newsletter, and honestly, it's one of the few newsletters that I actually read. I sign up for newsletters all over the place because I like free stuff, but basically, I get them and I delete them. But her newsletter, I actually do read and I enjoy. But this pattern specifically is excellent for scrap busting. It's also jelly roll friendly if you have some jelly rolls you want to use up. But basically, I'm going to be making half with the light backgrounds and half with dark backgrounds. And they have just been really simple and easy to cut and to sew, and I can't wait to see how it all comes together, and also to finally get these scraps out of my sewing room so I can fill it with more scraps, presumably. So I have a ton of these ones, I just have to finish my light ones. And I think I'm probably only going to get enough to do the baby size quilt, and then I'll just set that aside for whoever has a baby next. I made this label sampler several months ago to test if I really needed to set the ink with vinegar. Here's a reminder of what it looked like before, all those months ago. Since then, I have washed it 30 plus times, and I haven't been gentle with it. I haven't babied it. I just threw it in with whatever I was washing. You can go back and watch this video if you want to see how I made it, but basically, I set the ink for these 4 patches with vinegar, and I didn't set these 3 at all. And you can see there is a big difference between the 2. So I'm just going to go to the best example right here. This cat has faded so much. It used to be much, much darker and much easier to see. And let's just compare it to this nice dark line here. So you can see how big of a difference that is. You can also look at the gray here, the lighter gray. That was about that color originally, but down here, the letters used to have a sort of similar, here, I don't know if you can see that, a little bit of a shadowing to the words, and now you can barely see it at all. So very, very big difference. A lot of color lifted off. So you can see, sorry about all the threads, much more legible, much less bleeding. And then also, I experimented with colored ink, and it did not, even though I set it with vinegar, it's not looking so good. So I'm going to stick with dark black gray ink from now on with my labels. I was also interested in just how well these patches would stay in that many washes, and they stuck in so well. There's no fraying. There's nothing that has been lifted up. Everything is nice and secure. I will say though, I think it is better to do the smaller patches than these larger ones, because the larger ones really do wrinkle a lot. Although they're good for putting in detail, so like what pattern you use and who it's for and everything, but they wrinkle a little bit more, I think, than the smaller ones. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm also working on this little raw edge applique mini quilt. It's pretty straightforward, but the unusual combination between this orange and the blue, it's really making my brain happy for some reason. I wouldn't normally put the colors together like that, but it makes my brain fuzzy in a nice way. I also made this label to go along with it. It's just like a little checklist for what I'd like to find in 2025. More joy, more creativity, and new exciting opportunities. So I'm going to put that on the back of this mini quilt. And that leads me to my last update, because it sort of got me thinking, and I had a bit of a crazy idea. What if I tried to get a quilt into QuiltCon next year? Now I know this is a crazy idea for several reasons, so I'm going to make a list to share that with you. I've never entered a quilt into a competition before. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what the rules are. I'll have to search for them somewhere, I guess. I don't know. I think maybe I have to learn how to make a hanging sleeve, that kind of thing. I don't know if they're looking for a certain stitch length. How picky are the judges? I don't know. And that brings me to another one. What are they looking for? Not just like the craftsmanship, but what are they looking for in terms of design? Because I've looked through the quilts that they have accepted into the quilt show before, and they are all very different and unique. So I don't really know, I can't cater a quilt towards them because I don't know what they want. I also don't really consider myself to be a modern quilter because, I mean, I do enjoy modern quilts, but I tend to do more traditional stuff. So that would be a little bit outside of my wheelhouse, but it could be a fun way to experiment and just learn. And also, along with that, I haven't done very many original designs. I mean, I've done little things here and there, but I haven't done a lot of like large-scale original designs. So that would be another stretch for me. Another very important point is that I have a very limited quilting budget, so I really need to make it count. I need to really know what I'm doing before I get started, so I don't waste my time or my limited budget. And I think the final thing is that I'm just not a very competitive person. I actually sometimes feel bad if I win something, so that's another hurdle to overcome. Not that I expect to win anything, especially because it's my first time ever competing in a quilt show or trying to even get into a quilt show. But it's still, I'm not a very competitive person. But despite all of that, it sounds like it could be fun, right? I don't know. And it could be a new exciting opportunity, just like I was hoping for 2025. So I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And if you have entered quilts and quilt shows, especially if you've entered into QuiltCon before, go ahead and leave me some tips and tricks in the comments section, because literally I don't know what I'm doing and I could really use some inside information. Okay? Thanks for spending time with me today, quilters. If you want to support this channel and help me buy supplies and materials for future videos, please visit my Buy Me a Coffee page linked in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss upcoming videos. And I'll see you again real soon. Bye!